Alex Newman with Case Press, and I'm here with Oban Elliot, who returns to action this Friday at Cage Warriors 131. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very excited to weigh in right now. It's the day before the weigh-ins. I'm sure you know the fight game. Everyone's a little bit hungry, a little bit thirsty. But mate, I'm buzzing to be back doing what I love, mate. I can't wait to put on another show.
Awesome. And I'm very thankful for you to take the time during your weight cut. How are you feeling? How did the weight cut go?
Very good, mate. It's the smoothest weight cut I've ever done. I anticipated, because each one you do, you try and you learn more about yourself. And I left a bit more to cut. Say in the last week, I came in as big as possible, as heavy as possible, and my body's reacted perfectly. I know my body inside out now. I feel when it comes to this, and I may wait. I'm in the position I'm in now, ready to weigh in. Perfectly healthy. I'm not too drawn in. I'm strong. If they called us to fight now, I could fight now, and I've not even replenished or eaten my delicious array of snacks that I'm going to devour in 12 hours time. Do you know much about Nando's in America? Because that's exactly where I'm going after we fucking weighed in. I'm going to tear that down, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, what's the first thing you're going to eat as soon as you weigh in?
But I'm going to be strict. My coconut, I'm looking at it now. My coconut waters, my isotonic gels, just simple carbohydrates, then electrolyte fluids, plenty of fluid. But then when it's when it gets a bit, my lips are quivering because I'm looking at it all now. I'm gonna have obviously my be good and disciplined, but Nando's is the best because it's just like perfect replenish food. And I'll be strolling in there like Vince McMahon and ordering a lot, mate, tomorrow. Oh.
I'm sorry about talking about food. I know it's fucking you up.
Yeah, it's all good, mate. It's all good. I'm so excited.
Well, then let's just talk about your fight real quick and get it over with. Madars, what do you think of him as an opponent?
He's a great opponent, mate. I've said this. He's a family man, which I respect a lot. He's a very experienced guy. He's a formidable opponent. That's how I'd describe him. And it's going to be a great test for me. It's a great test for my skills. And it's a big fight, mate. Everyone's excited about it all over. I've got people following me in America now, which is crazy. And they're getting behind this fight. And it means the world. It's a big fight. And I feel everything's just coming into place now. And I'm going to go out and execute. And do what I do best. This really is like I'm living my dream now. I'm here, mate. I'm talking to you, and I'm grateful for it all. I'm grateful for the conversation we're having now. I'm grateful for even feeling a little bit thirsty and hungry because, mate, I'd be gutted if I couldn't do this. So there we are. That's how I'm feeling, mate. I can't wait.
How do you see the fight going down? And do you have a prediction?
Nah, I can't do a prediction, mate. I'll be too busy just taking it in and looking $1 million. I can't give you I wouldn't know. I couldn't give a prediction for it because it would just unfold as it will, and I'll just go to the toolbox when I need to and deal with him. And there we are. The fans will be in for a treat.
All right. Well, how about this? Will you continue your 100% finish rate? Will you? How about
what that? I can give you is it's going to be one more for the win column, one more for the highlight reel, and one more for the gangster. Okay, you know the American gangster over there, Chael P up in West Lynn. Well, he's put me to work this Friday. He's putting me to work. He sent me the itinerary. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to go out and do it.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. For everyone that doesn't know your story, how did you get into mixed martial arts?
Mate, I was a young kid just like any other. With it was my parents influencing me to go and train. I started out in Taekwondo, the traditional martial arts, and the passing of my father when I was a child really spurred me on to keep it up. And a big part of my story, a big part of my motivation to fight is dedicating my career and tributing my father, because without him, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't be. I don't think I would be doing this. It's just that I was born for this and raised to do it. And then when he moved on and passed away, I very much took that torch and I've made sure I'm going to keep carrying it while I've got a breath in my body.
That's awesome to hear that you're carrying your father's memory and your torch and you're fighting for him. Also, for anyone who doesn't know your style, how do you fight?
Oh, mate, I think I'm box office. How does that sound? For if you haven't watched me, I'm box office, mate. And if you tune in like a Quintin Tarantino film, you might tune into one fight where it gets a little bit lulls and you think, what the fuck's going on? And I might be in a little bit of a lull here and there. There might be the odd fight that isn't just guns and bullets, but box office is how I describe it. And we were in for a treat on Friday.
Well, you just gave me my headline. Thank you very much.
Of course.
How did you get linked up with Jack Shore?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. How did I get linked up? Is when I was at university, I was fighting on the Cage Warriors Academy shows, and my friend Jack Tucker from my hometown trained with Jack Shore. Then I went to see my mate Jack Tucker. I think we went on a night out or whatever, and it was a plan to then go and train. And then that's how I come across Jack Shore, and then I come across Richard Shore, his father, and then we eventually my plan was always after university to go back to my hometown, but then as soon as I did that, I made the allegiance with Shore Mixed Martial Arts. Obviously, Jack Shore, the UFC bantamweight, who's on a tear, and I'm lucky to share the room with him every day. So, yeah.
I've been following Jack for a long time, and finally, I think he's starting to get the respect from the American audience, because he's already big as shit back home.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think of him as a fighter?
As a fighter, mate, I think the best is still very much yet to come for him. I think he's got this big fight now with the Dagestani, and I think he's going to pass that test with flying colours and carry our team's name and lead the way as he's doing. I think the best is yet to come. Is he can do it all, and he'll go all the way to the title if he wants to. But again, the fighting's not he's a family man, Jack, and what I'm saying is he could stop tomorrow and still go down as a great, or he could go and win the title if he wanted to. It's up to him, and obviously we all know his aspirations. He's going to keep pushing for that number one spot.
I mean, there's a few nicknames, the Welsh Khabib, the Welsh GSP.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on over there? I mean, Welsh wrestling is legit.
It's fucking legit, man. Let me tell you now. Carl Parker, the head wrestling coach. It's weird because then you got Carl Parker's wrestling, who's the head. He's also the head MMA coach at our gym. Mixed with the jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu style that Jack Shore obviously inherited from his father, Richard Shore. So it's a perfect blend. It's MMA wrestling, and all you got to look at is the way Tank Jack Shore goes to work in the octagon and he's really representing the level of wrestling at our club at the highest level, and that is thanks to Carl Parker, the wrestling coach, and obviously Richard Shaw, who like integrates the style for the MMA as well.
I wanted to actually backtrack and talk about your first professional loss. I guess, how did you deal with that? Each fighter deals with their first loss completely different, right?
Yeah.
What were the feelings like after you got that first loss?
I walked out of that cage and walked into the locker room and said, well, that sucked. I lay down on the mat. I tried getting my breath for about half an hour. As soon as I settled down, I said, let's just get the fuck out of here. I left everything in that octagon. I left everything. There was not one bullet I didn't shoot. I left with no regrets. I left with no anger. I left with that warrior's mindset of, you left it all in there. You couldn't have done anything else. I didn't stall in any positions. I didn't think, oh, I'm just going to let this go to a decision. They sat me down in the second, in between the second and third round, and said, you've got to knock him out. And you see it on the TV all the time. I'm sure you do, where a guy's 2 rounds down and he's not really doing anything. So I was 2 rounds down, and in the horrific state I was in that third round, I fucking tried taking his head off every second. It's you or me, pal. That's what I was thinking. And then when that ref stopped the fight, I was like, well, fucking hell, I gave it all. And you can see how I've dealt with it, I gave everything. If I went in there and was lazy and I didn't work my hardest to get out of positions, or I could have done, there's no shoulda, woulda, couldas in that fight, because I gave my fucking all. And that's why I'm proud. And that's why I was proud of myself afterwards.
This is probably a stupid question, but I guess, were you happy that you went out on your shield and lost that way, instead of losing a unanimous decision?
It's not a stupid question. You're bang on. I'm glad, because it was, if he's going to beat me, you're going to have to finish me, mate. Because otherwise, I'm going to be trying to take your head off for every second that clock is ticking in that round. So and I got finished looking for the finish. And then you see, look, people are like, you get your first loss, what do? You might think, what would a moral citizen do? What would a martial artist do? What would Jesus do? But I sat there and looked myself in the mirror and I said, what would Stone Cold Steve Austin do? And I just went straight back in as soon as I got the call. And here we are again. So let's go.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Just 2 final things for you, man. Firstly, Welsh MMA. What's your opinion on the state of Welsh MMA, man? There's a few awesome fighters in the UFC right now. Of course, there's some in Bellator. There's Cage Warriors. You got Mason Jones. You got Tank. You got Corey McKenna. Like, what's the state of Welsh MMA?
I mean, Mason and Corey, they're out. They near enough train out in America. They don't train with us. Corey used to train with us. I've never trained with Mason, but again, as you can say, look at the talent that's coming out of there. Mason, what's he in the UFC now? 1-1. He's had a no contest, but look, clearly a talent. He was a double champion. Corey, who passed a contender series fight with flying colors. Then obviously you've got Brett Johns, who fights in Bellator. You've got Tank, as you mentioned, undefeated, undisputed. You know what I mean? On the way through, obviously we've seen Marshman, we've seen John Phillips, big godfathers as far as us lot are concerned. When they walk in a room, we all stand up and shake their hand. And then Scott Pedersen, who I'm sharing the card with in this Cage Warriors event. I could go all day, because we'll just keep coming through, and I'm lucky to be just one of many special fighters coming from such a small part of the world.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's just going to keep coming, right? Like, for a while there, we had the Irish wave, where we had some of them, and then there's, of course, there's the Dagestanis that are taking over. But I mean, Wells, you guys got some killers coming up.
100%. And I'm gonna give every single ounce of my being to keep this momentum going, and it goes straight through a man known as the Latvian Express on Friday, and that it's going to be big. I can assure you of that, mate.
And then just not looking past your opponent at all, but what do you want your 2022 to look like? Do you want to fight for that Cage Warriors title and then make your way over to a big promotion like the UFC, Bellator, or something like that? Like,
yeah, well, after I defend the People's Belt on Friday, I'll look to defend it in March, and then if they want to unify that with the Cage Warriors title, maybe in March, maybe afterwards, they're more than welcome to put an offer on the table. You know what I mean? But that's my mentality, mate. I'm defending the People's Belt. I'm defending everything I've worked for in my life so far, and we will push forward to that famed 3-letter organization, the UFC. And another big part of the journey is on Friday, and we put all of our focus onto the Latvian Express.
That's awesome to hear. Well, thank you so much for your time, Oban. It's always awesome. It's awesome to talk with you, man.
Mate, no worries, man.
Your box office. I can't wait for your fight on Friday. If you want to plug your social media, plug your sponsors, the floor is yours.
Yeah, of course, mate. My Instagram, Oban Elliot. My Twitter handle is Oban Elliot MMA. And let's see if the old wake up brain can rattle off the sponsors. We've got Weekend Defender, Tatami, UFC Wales. We've got Flame Protect. We have Supology. I'm pretty good at this, mate, but that's all I can remember now. Maybe I might get a little slap on the wrist. But if you sponsor me and I just can't fucking remember it right now, I love you.
Awesome. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate your time.